This is beautiful. It would not be inaccurate to suggest that the most beautiful woman in the world does not, in fact, know she is the most beautiful woman in the world. It's true, she does not. And her humility in the face of this obvious fact will unmoor you completely. Like blowback from a house fire, it will consume you. And it is entirely because she is without the guile usually given to the truly lovely of this world, in order that they might make it through such a peculiar time obsessed with youth and glamour, which makes her do things that, under normal circumstances, and with even any half pretty girl you know, would make you cringe with disapproval if you saw them performed by anyone other than her. Because the most beautiful woman in the world does things you would never, ever imagine one in possession of such a miracle self would do. For example, she picks her nose. When she thinks no one else is watching, another impossibility she lives with, she picks at the inside of her nose, the booger part, with purpose and much vigor. In part, she does this to rebel against the kinds of things people say women like her should never do. Because the most beautiful woman in the world would have to be a rebel. You would not love her as much if she weren't. And she would have never learned how to survive within herself had she not experimented early on with the necessity of doing what is not supposed to be done. Sometimes she rebels for the same reason Marlon Brando said he did in that movie he starred in and she once saw, because it was there to rebel against, and where she, in an instant, recognized herself. Or when, as a very young girl, she took a keen pleasure in rebelling as a feminist, identifying and empathizing with this specific oppression, which she had only slightly experienced once, while in the company of her mostly absent, periodically vicious father. No other door in life would ever be closed on her again. Her considerable enthusiasm for good causes, however, helped to forge a stunning and inveterate tomboy, one who enjoyed crawling in through the busted windows of things. And like most of the things she found to do, she often noticed that she could do them better than almost anyone else. This part she does not understand, but accepts. But it was here, during her rebellious tomboy youth, where her unreasonable humility first bloomed, right alongside her coltish and curving figure. This is also why you will never hear the most beautiful woman in the world ever brag or boast about anything regarding herself. She finds such behavior unseemly. And she's right, of course, and as usual, which you grow tired of on occasion, her almost mystical ability to behave correctly in any given situation. And were you any less accomplished or generally suffering from a garden variety case of human insecurity, you might actually hold against her and grow a terrible resentment about, which you know too well would be fruitless, so wrapped up is she in her steadfast devotion to those less fortunate than her, which is everyone. And so much so that she would never have a clue or even an inkling about your increasing seething resentment until it became far too late for you to control anymore, until you would do something stupid or horrible or horribly stupid to her, something you know to be unforgivable, and then end up being just like everyone else, be exactly like everybody else she believes she has let down yet again. The betrayal would be yours, of course, but the self-inflicted banishment that would follow would be all her. You would never be allowed to see her again, not in real life anyway, which you know you couldn't possibly endure. You have met, after all, some of the other hearts she has unwittingly shattered. And you are not entirely unaware that her humility makes her feel too lucky, far and away too lucky, especially after you reflect on the never-ending wake of disturbing, often aggressive behavior her rapturous allure foments, the friendships it so effortlessly mutilates, the marriages it has demolished. And that in spite of all the self-serving and manipulative ways in which other people, whether by design or compulsion, have acted around her, that it is herself, the most beautiful woman in the world, perceives as ugly, which you too well understand is precisely why she loves you so. Thank you.